Right, now the KwaZulu-Natal Department of Cooperative Governance and Traditional Affairs says they have placed disaster teams on high alert following weather warnings by the South African Weather Service. The Weather Service has released a level 5 severe thunderstorm for western and southern regions, which ended last night. This is while a level 2 warning for severe thunderstorms has also been issued for the rest of the province. Let's get a quick update now with the forecaster, Tokelo Chiloane, who joins us now. Tokelo, thank you so much for the time. Perhaps if you can provide us with clarity on which warning level we currently set. Are both currently still in place?
Yes, good morning and good morning to your viewers. So for this morning, the level 2 and level 4 is still in place over southern and western KwaZulu-Natal. This is where we are expecting most of our rainfall. However, it is worth noting that the system which was dominating or which was generating this type of weather is slowly slipping out of the country. Most of the areas that we are worried about beside KwaZulu-Natal is also the Eastern Cape, where we've gotten reports of heavy rainfall leading to flooding in that part of the province. So for today, the system, as I've mentioned, is currently leaving the country, and what we are left with is just going to be some remnants of the system, which we're still expecting 80% chance of showers and thunder showers over KwaZulu-Natal as well as the Eastern Cape province, with yellow level 2 warning for severe thunderstorms as well as yellow level 4 warning for severe thunderstorms in the KwaZulu-Natal province for today.
Is the current system sort of linked to what might be a larger weather pattern that we're seeing forming in and around the southwestern parts of the country?
Yes. That system, what we have, it's called the cut-off flow system. However, it is worth noting that the cut-off flow, as much as they are rain-producing systems, currently the impacts are mostly influenced by the previous weather that we already have. So the amount of rainfall we experienced in the past weeks, combined with this one as the one that is responsible for this severe impact that we've already observed so far.
So how widespread is the instability across KZN? And are we even likely then to see separated storm cells perhaps even form after the initial downpours, do you think?
Yes. Remember, we are still in the summer season, though the system can bring a lot of rainfall at one time. However, once it moves, now we are back to the normal afternoon thunder showers. That one is still expected. So even though we are saying that the current weather system is the one that is going to be moving out, the summer is still there, the instability is still there. So we're still going to be expecting afternoon showers and thunder showers continuously over the eastern parts of the country as well as the southern parts.
Is that expectation of or projection of rainfall exceeding 50 millimeters, is that still in place, or could it actually be a little bit higher from here, do we think?
For today, that is still in place. For today, as well as for today, lasting up until tomorrow, especially the coast of both the Eastern Cape, the southeast coast of Eastern Cape, as well as the south coast of KwaZulu-Natal. So for that, we are still expecting that 60 to 80% chance of showers and thunder showers, and rainfall has the potential to exceed 50 millimeters.
Yeah, are you expecting the level 2 areas to intensify?
Yes, at the moment we are still observing and we are still doing our calculations. So with time today, we either going to be improving the warnings or expanding it to a bigger area. So our focuses are still busy with that at this stage.
Yeah, are you able to share an overall medium-term sort of outlook, maybe for KZN in particular, as to what we're expecting, whether this is somewhat of an isolated event? I know you said that this was part of a larger weather pattern. But are we likely to see persistent storm cycles forming here?
When we talk about storms, you cannot say persistent storms, because storms, it's something that are short-lived, you understand. But when we are looking at the broader seasonal forecast, it still indicates that we are still expecting above normal precipitation. So that can either be thunderstorms throughout, or it can be one of this type of system which brings persistent rainfall for a shorter period. So when we look at the broader area, for especially the KwaZulu-Natal, looking at Eastern Cape as well, let's not forget Eastern Cape, because they're also experiencing severe impacts. For those regions, we are still expecting above normal rainfall for this season that is still coming, which is still February, March, and April. So that it can consist of thunderstorms as well as persistent rainfall. But since we are leaning towards autumn, and autumn is mostly leaning towards us having more rainfall, which is persistent rather than thunderstorms. But we are not ruling them out as well.
Yeah, look, I know you said autumn. Man, it feels like it's very far before we get to autumn, especially in Joburg or Gauteng, or the northern parts of the country as well, the Highveld. Very, very warm conditions. I don't know if you're able to perhaps give us just an update as to why there's been a persistent pressure of this high temperature in the northern parts of the country.
The simple answer will just mention that it's summer, it's autumn, we're moving towards autumn. However, what we are looking at, when we are having the system that we currently have over the country, it was the one that was grabbing all the moisture towards itself, then leaving us exposed to what we call a dry slot. So when we are in the dry slot, we are in the heat, we are getting more heat, no less rainfall. If you can look over the coast, over the ocean, in the Indian Ocean, we do have something also developing there, and it's also taking moisture towards itself. So we are between two systems where we are, especially over the northeastern part of the country. So that leaves us exposed to just this dry weather, and since it's summer, then dry and hot weather that we are experiencing.
Do we know how long this dry slot goes on for?
Currently, we are still expecting it also to continue today as well as tomorrow. We will really look after tomorrow if we are still going to be in the dry slot. But since today is Monday, all the forecasters are up and running, looking at the weather ahead of the week. Then we will know exactly what we are actually looking at for this time of the week. However, it is important for us to highlight that though we are not in the heat wave category as yet, these temperatures are hot, and we do urge residents of the country as a whole who are residing in that part of the country to take caution, even though we are not yet in the heat wave category.
Yeah, well, it's going to be very interesting because the heat is definitely on. That much I can tell you, particularly in the northern parts of the country. Tokelo, thank you so much for the time. Thank you for the update as well, particularly out of KZN as we continue to watch the weather with two levels, two warnings in place, a level 2 and a level 4 warning there. Tokelo Chiloane, a forecaster at the South African Weather Service.